The following is a non-profit fan-made version of the original radio program, The Shadow. All sound effects have been found on YouTube and voices on castingcall.club. Please support the official release.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again we welcome you back to yet another exciting adventure of The Shadow. In this second season, The Shadow will demonstrate forcibly to old and young alike that crime does not pay. The Shadow, who is really Lamont Cranston, has the hypnotic power to cloud men's minds so that they cannot see him. Cranston's friend, Margot Lane, is the only person who knows to whom the voice of the invisible shadow belongs. This episode, written by Alfred Bester, Revenge by Special Delivery. All of us are injustice collectors, like Thomas Denzing. All of us spend solitary hours resenting imagined slurs and insults, like Thomas Denzing. But all of us do not sit down and send revenge by special delivery. That is where we part company with Thomas Denzing, and where our story begins.
Dear Madam, little did you know when you insulted me that I am the rightful Duke of Cordova in Spain. And when I have assumed my rightful place, I will pay you back. I will have you killed. Yours truly, the Secret One. Dear sir, little did you know when you insulted me that I have a secret knowledge of the spying you did in the war. I know the information you stole and where you sent it. I will reveal your treachery. I will have you shot. Yours truly, the Secret One. Dear sir, little did you know when you sneered at me that I am the rightful Duke of Cordova in Spain. I will pay you back for your insults. I will have you killed. Yours truly, the Secret One.
So Thomas Denzing sends revenge by special delivery. Revenge for what? Revenge how? That's what George Boswick asks Lamont Cranston and Margot Lane the following night.
Nice of you to drive me home, Cranston. I don't mind admitting I'm a little upset.
A little? You were shaken when you tore into my apartment with that letter in your hand.
But hang it,
Now, I'm not going through my spiel again. You tell him, Margot.
It's obviously a crank letter. It doesn't make sense. I have told you 100 times. Them that makes threats never kills.
Those that make threats.
You said them that.
Listen, it may be for yaks with you, but I'm not so sure. I did some work for the Manhattan Project during the war. Some crazy character could get the idea that I was a spy.
Oh, will you forget it? How many threatening letters have I received, Margot?
1,382.
83.
2.
I'm counting both notes from Spider Bob Moyer.
But only the first was written in blood.
Hang it, Cranston. It isn't funny.
George, listen to me. I've seen hundreds of these threatening letters. I know the differences between the ones that mean business and the ones that don't. Yours do not mean anything. It's just for laughs. Believe me. Now, get out of the car, go upstairs to your apartment, and have a couple of drinks and forget about it.
All right, Cranston. Maybe you're right. Thanks a lot. Good night.
Good night, George.
We'll watch until we see your light go on.
Did you really mean that, Lamont?
Well, sure, Margot. Look at him. He's so scared he could hardly get the house door open. Oh, there he goes. We'll wait for him to show the light. We'll give him a honk in the horn and... I just got finished telling him that he had nothing to worry about, Commissioner. By the time Margot and I got to him, he was dead.
You told him he had nothing to worry about?
That's what I said.
You're an imbecile.
Now look, Commissioner Weston,
And so am I. There are at least 3 other of these special delivery threats sent out in the mail. 3 people came down to headquarters scared stiff. I told them the same thing you told Boswick. We're both idiots.
3 more letters? Posted where?
The Blackwood Station.
That's where Boswick was posted. What kind of threats?
Just 2. I am the Duke of Spain and I'll kill you, or I am a secret agent and I'll kill you. I don't have to tell you. You saw it happen.
I can't believe it. Oh, come on, Margot.
Don't mess around with this one. I'm covering ballistics, the stationery, Boswick's past history, connection between the people who got letters, and etc. There's nothing left for you. Good night.
Good night, Commissioner.
There really is nothing left for you, Lamont.
There's one thing that Weston forgot. The stamps.
The stamps?
Somebody walked into the Blackwood post office and bought at least 4 special delivery stamps. If anybody's in the station now, they might remember who.
But it's late. The place will be closed.
Not to the Shadow, Margot. Nothing's ever closed to him.
Who's there? Who is that? Speak up. I've got a gun. I warn you,
It won't do any good to shoot.
Who is that? Goodson? Marlowe? This is Superintendent Ives.
Put on the light, Mr. Ives. See for yourself.
There's no one, but I could have sworn
You hear but cannot see. It is a common failing of men who speak to the shadow, Mr. Ives.
The shadow!
I found an interesting pair of letters in the night drop, Mr. Ives. Each of them without a return address. Each of them stamped with a special delivery stamp.
Put them down! Those letters are federal property!
Someone might have purchased a supply of special delivery stamps at your station, Ives. I'd like to know which of your clerks could tell me who bought them.
Give me those letters. It's against the law to handle federal property.
Little man, little official, little superintendent, get your mind out of the rulebook. There's been a murder tonight.
Murder?
A murder because somebody has been mailing a special delivery threats like these from the station. I want to know all about the letters, Ives.
You may consult the proper authorities, though. The usual channels. Now give me those letters!
Little official, can't you understand? Someone's been mailing these threats and following them with murder. One life's been lost already. There may be other victims.
They may obtain police protection by appealing to the proper authorities.
It may be too late for appeal.
You're trespassing on government property, whoever you are. I warn you, I'm authorized to shoot. I'm prepared to shoot.
Go ahead. Shoot. Find the target. The heart of the shadow.
Let go of me. It's a misdemeanor to interfere with a government officer in the pursuit of his duties. I warn you.
Will you help me find the killer, or will you help the killer murder?
That is not a proper question. I am not required to answer it or to help you or perform any function outside the line of duty. Now get out of here at once.
I'm licked. I admit it. No man, not even the shadow, can dent the petty official mind.
Then we're stuck, Lamont. The only lead worth following is the post office, and Ives won't listen to reason.
Maybe. Maybe not.
What does that mean? Lamont, do you still think the killer is somebody else besides the crank letter writer?
Frankly, I can't believe the letter writer is the killer. That's what's bothering me. Anybody who talks about being the Duke of Cordova. Well, Margot, here we are. It looks like she still lives here, too. Up one flight, then down the hall.
And then what?
What do you mean?
It's 6 o'clock in the morning. What are you going to do? Just ring the bell and tell the lady she's wanted?
Do you smell smoke?
Why, yes. It's coming down the hall, Lamont. I think I can see flames, too.
That's Lois Chester's place. Get a handkerchief out.
Look out, Lamont! A man behind you!
You big hoof-headed gorilla!
Let go, you! The fire! Margot, the fire! Get the extinguishers or something. Will you quit?
Whatever you got, brother, I can top it.
Top that, friend.
Lamont!
What's the matter, Margot?
In the bedroom. The girl.
What about her?
She's dead.
We'll return to the shadow in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our second season of The Shadow, don't forget to check out our Facebook page for updates on future episodes. And as always, if you have any questions about the program or wish to help voice a character for a future episode, feel free to leave us a message, and we will reply as soon as we can. Now, back to The Shadow. There have been 2 murders. A man named Boswick, killed in the foyer of his apartment house. A woman named Lois Chester, killed in the bedroom of her hotel apartment. And still, Thomas Denzing sits and writes his special delivery threats.
Dear Madam, you didn't know when you insulted me that I am the rightful Duke of Cordova in Spain, and when I have assumed my rightful place, I will have you killed. Yours truly, the Secret One.
It was the Secret One again, Cranston. Ballistics checked a murder bullet. Lewis Chester was killed by the same gun that knocked off Boswick.
And the motive?
They both worked for the Manhattan Project. Atomic research. The way I see it, that letter to Boswick from the Secret One told the truth.
Did Lois Chester get a letter?
She must have. That's why our friend Mr. Harry Stopper here started the fire. He burned it after he killed her.
That's a lousy lie, Commissioner.
You've got a record, Stopper? Extortion? Blackmail? You dug up something on Boswick and the Chester woman. You put the heat on. When the going got rough, you decided to shut their mouths. You sent those letters to cover. You killed Boswick. You killed Lois Chester.
Not in a million years.
Why'd you burn that letter you sent her? Why'd you burn every other piece of paper you could find in her apartment?
I never sent her any letter. I never burned it.
I'll get you on that one, Stopper. Hanley! Send it that post office guy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh what?
Nothing, just plain oh.
I must say, Commissioner, this is most inconsiderate. I have a job to do, sir. My time is...
Your Ives?
I
just want to know one thing. We think the dead woman received a special delivery letter sometime yesterday. We want your verification.
The name is Lois Chester. Apartment free. The Hamilton.
I have nothing to say if you apply through the proper authorities.
I'm the proper authority, and I'm applying. Did Lois Chester receive a special delivery letter?
Now see here, Commissioner. I will not permit myself to be used by the police in a blanket search for clues. You gentlemen are merely attempting to overthrow regulations in hopes of turning something up. If you had a specific problem, if perhaps you knew the victim, the killer, and the crime, and merely lacked one specific clue for conviction, I might possibly cooperate, but...
We've got all that, Ives. The victims are a man named Boswick and a woman named Chester. The killer is a man named Alfred Sigma of 1280 Sherman Road.
What in the...
Quiet. If we can prove that Alfred Sigma sent the special delivery letters through your station to the victims, we got him. Well?
Yes, Chester received a special delivery letter late last night.
And there, Commissioner, is your case.
What case, Lamont? Who was that Alfred Sigmund you just mentioned?
Nobody. I just made up the name to get information out of Ives.
But what about Harry Stoper?
He's a blackmailer, all right. His story that he went up to see Lois, found her dead, and burned all her papers to protect himself.
Do you think he's telling the truth?
They didn't find a gun on him. That's a tough one to get around. When he planted his right to my mouth, I didn't taste any gunpowder residue. Oh, what's that? More wires from Weston.
I'll take it. Lamont!
What's the matter now?
It's a special delivery letter. It looks just like the one that Boswick showed us. Do you think it's...
Now let's have it. Dear Madam, you didn't know when you insulted me that I am the rightful Duke of Cordova. I've insulted, I will have you killed. Secret One. Well, how about that?
Is it a gag?
No, it's the real McCoy.
But who'd I insult? How? When?
Wait a minute, Margot, wait a minute. Maybe we're going to get a break at last. Notice anything particular about this letter?
No.
How many words in a line?
Why, let's see. 5.
Always 5 words to a line. Boswick's letter was written to the same. If I hadn't been an ass, I would have checked the other letters Weston hadn't discovered this sooner.
Discovered what?
The business our secret one is in. Listen, Margot. I put us on a spot where that bum sneer of mine about Alfred Sigmund. It might get someone killed. You've got the job.
I don't want to stand in for Alfred Sigmund.
Take the car and drive over to Sherman Road. Check to see if there's a number 1280. I'm hoping there isn't.
And if there is?
Check the house and see if there's a residence. If so, call Weston to tell him to send a squad down.
He'll want a good reason.
Tell him if he waits for me at the number 1280, I'll deliver the secret one straight into his hands.
Weston talking.
Commissioner Weston, this is Margot Lane. I've got a message for Lamont.
Since when have I been Cranston's answering service?
But it's about the Boswick case, Commissioner. And I don't know where to reach Lamont.
Oh, go ahead.
Tell him I checked 1280 Sherman Road for him. It's a condemned house, boarded up. There's no one living there, so I...
So you what? Go ahead. I want everything on that crazy business about Alfred Sigmund. Hello? Miss Lane? Miss Lane? Miss Lane!
Condemned houses are like empty coffins awaiting the dead. Trapped in one, with the form of an armed killer looming before you in the darkness, you can taste the bitterness, the insanity of murder.
There, Miss Lane. We're nice and cozy now. Doors closed, windows sealed. We can have a quiet chat.
Mr. Ives!
Superintendent Ives, where is Alfred Sigmund? The letter writer, Miss Lane. The secret agent. The secret one. Cranston said he was here. Obviously, he is not. Where is he?
There isn't any Alfred Sigmund.
Don't lie, Miss Lane. This is a gun. See, I am looking for the writer of the letters. The secret one. Alfred Sigmund.
I tell you, he doesn't exist.
I'll tell you you're lying. Answer me. Where is he?
I don't know.
Telegram for Mr. Ives. Telegram for Mr. Ives.
What in the... Don't speak, Miss Lane. Don't make a move.
Telegram for Mr. Philip Ives. Is Mr. Philip Ives in the house? Telegram for Mr. Ives. Telegram for... There he is. Deliver your telegram, Thomas.
Who's that?
This is the Shadow again, Mr. Ives, with a wire for you in the hands of Thomas Densing. Deliver the telegram, Thomas.
Don't come any closer, whoever you are.
That's him. That's the man. That's the one who insulted me.
What?
Listen and learn, bureaucrat.
He insulted me. He didn't know I am the rightful Duke of Cordova and that I was a spy in the war. I paid him back for the insult and the sneers. That's him.
This is the letter writer? The secret one?
Yes, my friend. This, a poor old creature, writing childish letters to avenge imagined insults. But unfortunately, the letter he wrote to you contained the truth, eh?
No,
You, Mr. Ives, did sell security information during the war. You did have a past to conceal. You had no way of knowing that the secret one was writing fantasy threats to many people. You thought the threats were real. You acted on it at once.
Lies! Lies! All lies!
You murdered Boswick and Miss Chester, the people you thought most likely had uncovered your secret. Thomas Densing wrote make-believe threats. You turned them into reality.
Never in a million years! None of you will ever prove anything!
I'll take that gun, Mr. Ives, if you don't mind. It's against the laws of the state for a criminal to possess deadly weapons. You know all about laws and regulations, don't you? Tell us, what's the legal penalty for murder?
And you were right all along, Lamont. The crank letter writer wasn't the killer.
I was sure of it.
Did you suspect Ives?
Yeah, very much so. From the time the Shadow first met him, he was far too uncooperative. Officials who are on the level are anxious to help. He wasn't. Instead of giving out information, he was trying to get it. To find out from us who the letter writer might be so he could get to him too.
So you lied to him. Told him the letter writer was Alfred Sigmund.
Well, we're even. Ives lied right back and told us Lois Chester had gotten a crank letter. Yet she hadn't. When I found that out from our crank letter writing friend, that wrapped it up against Ives.
How did you ever locate the crank letter writer?
Denzing? Through that business about 5 words to a line in his letters.
Huh?
That's a habit of old telegraph operators who are accustomed to handling messages in units of 5 and 10 words. They automatically write 5 words to a line. I hustled around to the local telegraph office, found Denzing and took him down to Sherman Road and used him on Ives. Or, I should say, the Shadow used him.
And what about Denzing now?
Weston's got him at headquarters. The last I heard, Denzing was clamoring for a pen and ink and stationery. You can guess what for.
Dear Shadow, you little realized when you insulted me that I am the rightful Duke of Cordova and was a secret agent in the war. And when I have assumed my rightful place, I will pay you back for your insolence. Yours truly, the Secret One.
The Shadow program is based on a story copyrighted by Street and Smith Publications. The characters, names, places, and plot are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Again, next month, The Shadow will demonstrate that
The wit of crime bears its bitter fruit, for crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.